Two of the most asked questions when it comes to dynasty football leagues are, how do you avoid people from tanking, and how do you determine the rookie draft order? Well, today what I'm going to be doing is completely breaking down those two questions and how we do them for our follower leagues and our home dynasty leagues. Now, just to preface, there is no perfect system, okay? This is what we do. I would actually love for you guys to comment down below and let me know what you think about our system. And I know a lot of people's answer to this question would be to use the max points for to determine the draft order. For us, it's just, we think it could be a little bit more entertaining. So this is what we do here at DynastyLand. Doesn't mean that you have to do it, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts down below. And maybe this can be a solution to your leagues as well. All right, firstly, let's talk about our rules on tanking. I think it's extremely important for anyone who has a dynasty league to have written rules in a document so things are black and white. You want to avoid as many gray areas in your league as possible. We even have a document that is like 10 pages long, if I'm not mistaken. There are 7 to 10 different different categories and then multiple bullet points underneath to kind of clearly define the rules of each league. So I'm going to only be telling you a couple things from that rule book, but I will also link down below the Google Doc if you would like to have a look at all of the rules that we use for our dynasty leagues entirely. All right, firstly, are there consequences for tanking in our leagues? I understand it can be a strategy, but also it sucks when people who are competing just get free wins and players are purposely tanking even though they already have a good team. So for us, yes, there are consequences for tanking. And everyone is required to field their best team on a weekly basis. It needs to be, if someone breaks this rule, they aren't fielding their best team, it has to be clear and distinct that they are breaking that rule, that they are not starting a player that should be started. You know, you can't be out here saying that someone is tanking because they're starting Deonta Foreman instead of Rashad White, for example. It needs to be extremely clear and distinct. And I'll give you some examples of that in a second. So the second question is, well, what are those consequences for? Well, the first offense, if you're found out to have had the first offense, it's a warning. The second offense, you lose a 4th round rookie pick or player valued around the same, according to Keep Trade Cut. Your third offense, you lose a 2nd round pick, or again, a player valued around the same. Your 4th offense, you lose a 1st round pick. And then the 5th offense, look, if you haven't gotten it by now, it's too late. You should have gotten the point by now. You're completely kicked from the league. That's it. So why don't we actually go over some examples of what tanking could look like for someone's roster. Benching Jonathan Taylor for Nyheim Hines is an example. Benching Josh Allen for Colt McCoy. Jamar Chase for Randall Cobb. Again, it has to be clear and distinct. Another question that we get quite often is, well, what about the players on my taxi squad? If I'm a team who is rebuilding and I've sold off a bunch of assets, but I have superstar rookies on my taxi squad, do I have to pull them from my taxi squad just to fill my starting roster if need be? No, it is completely your choice if you leave them on your taxi squad. That's what it's for. You are kind of, it's really smart actually. It's the most legal, ethical way for you to tank if you leave your superstar rookies on your taxi squad. So that's how we go about it. But of course, feel free to use whatever rules you like. And then the last question is, do these tanking rules apply in the playoffs and consolation brackets? And that answer is absolutely yes. So now that we've gotten how we deal with tanking out of the way, we can now talk about how we determine our rookie draft order. And for most of you, if you use Sleeper or whatever app you use, the 6 teams who don't make it into the playoffs will be put into a toilet bowl bracket. That's not what we do. Now, it's fine if you do that, but that's not what we do. Instead, we have a consolation bracket for the bottom 6 teams who don't make the playoffs. And the winner of this consolation bracket is actually awarded an extra pick, an extra rookie pick at the end of the 2nd round, beginning of the 3rd round. And I actually have a graphic to show you guys what that consolation bracket will look like for us. So firstly, you will see the actual playoffs in our dynasty leagues. This is a normal playoff, right? The 1st and the 2nd seed. These are the people who are fighting for the championship in our dynasty league. The first and second seed, well, they're going to have a bye week. You have the 4 and 5 seed face off, and then the 6 and 3 seed face off. And then, of course, they go to the next step. So this is a very standard playoff bracket, right? And then you have a 5th place game, a 3rd place game, and a championship game. So whoever wins the championship, they're given the 112. Whoever loses the championship, they're given the 111. Whoever wins the 3rd place game, they're given the 110. Whoever loses, they're given the 109. Whoever wins the 5th place game, they get the 108, and the loser gets the 107. So there's very, very clearly laid out draft order here in the playoffs. Now, if we go to the consolation bracket, okay, again, these are all the teams who didn't make the playoffs. This is how we determine the rookie draft order. Again, keep in mind, all these teams in this consolation bracket can fight for that 7th place. If they win the consolation bracket, they are awarded with an extra rookie pick at the end of the 2nd, beginning of the 3rd round. We manually add that pick for them in our rookie drafts. So think about the players last year. I mean, like a Romeo Dobbs was available there for some people. Brian Robinson was there for some people. So you can find a pretty valuable player in certain drafts, and definitely here in 2023. All right, so this is how it goes. The 7th seed and the 8th seed will have a bye week, so they will not be eligible for the 101 or the 102, okay? The 7 and 8 seed will not be eligible to get the 101 or the 102. All right, and it's a standard bracket. So if you win this game, you go on to the next. If you lose this game, then you get to play for the 11th place spot. Okay, so the 10th seed and the 11th seed will face off. The 12th seed and the 9th seed will face off. The loser of those games will go to the 11th place game. Now, in the 11th place game, whoever loses this is rewarded with the 1st overall pick. They are rewarded with the 101. That is their draft order. They get the 101. The winner locks up the 102 here. Okay, so you can see for every pick, there is a matchup that determines that. And then you go here to round 2. The losers of round 2 will go to the 9th place game. Again, the winner gets the 104, the loser gets 103. And then the 7th place game, whoever gets through this entire bracket, the winner gets the 106, as well as an extra late 2nd, early 3rd pick, and the loser is awarded the 105. So for us, this is a way to make it still interesting for those who don't make it into the playoffs, to reward them with something that is of value if they win the consolation bracket, and to try and discourage tanking. And also, it's important to note that the tanking consequences are very strictly followed in the playoffs as well. You can't just tank and put your worst team out there because you're in the playoffs. We will still follow all the same rules that we do normally. So when you add the consolation bracket and the regular bracket together, the results of them, you will get your rookie draft order. So again, the loser of 11th place gets the 101. The winner gets the 102. The loser of the 9th place gets the 103. The winner gets the 104. The loser of the consolation championship gets a 105. The winner gets a 106 and an extra late 2nd, early 3rd. And then we have all these other places that are decided by the 5th, 3rd, and championship game. So that will obviously determine the order of the draft. And then if you have the 101, you also have the 201, the 301. It's a linear draft. And I thought I might as well show you an example of what this will look like in our Dynasty League. So I'm looking at the Alpha Dynasty League here. If I go to League, you can see the current standings. So you can see the top 6 right now will make the playoff bracket. The bottom 7 as of now will be in the consolation bracket, okay? And then we can see how the brackets currently look. You can see in the playoffs, again, 1 seed, 2 seed, we'll see who fights for the championship. And then in the consolation bracket, you can see what that looks like for us as well. Dutchy and TD right now are the 7 and 8 seed. They will not be eligible for the 101 pick, but they can also win that extra 2nd, early 3rd pick as well with the consolation bracket. So that's what it looks like for us right now. Again, I don't think that there is a perfect way to go about doing this. And I understand some people out there want to use the points for method. That's fine if that's how you want to do it. We just trying to find a way to make things interesting, to give people something to fight for. And for those who aren't competing, still have them something that they could win that could help improve their team through the rookie draft. So this is what we do it. You can call it the DynastyLand concept if you like. If you want to adopt it, feel free to send this video out to your league mates. And also, we all obviously made this video for everyone in our league as well, so they can see how it is going to work for us. Look, I'm not saying we're going to stick to this format forever. I think there is no perfect format, but it's been pretty enjoyable for the years that we've used it. But if you think it could be improved, or if you don't like it, feel free to comment down below. Tell us what you guys think. But as always, thank you for watching the video. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch
now,
it.
You can also subscribe.
Right now.
If you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/FantasyLand fam.